Hello pomade lovers. Been a while since I've done a video, so glad to be back doing what I'm for years now. Reason I hadn't done one for a while is just because the old lockdown hair was getting a bit out of control, so I didn't really think it was fair to whichever products I was going to review that they had to go through that kind of a test. It wouldn't really be a fair comparison to anything else. But I have had a trim now a couple of weeks ago. I'm actually going to go again next week and get a bit more taken off because I wanted it a bit shorter. I still want to keep the fenders and everything, but I want it a bit shorter on the back and sides. But it is, yeah, it's taken a lot of the length from the top. So yeah, a lot more manageable now. So yeah, back to do some more reviews now. So this time I'm going to do one which I mentioned I was going to do a few weeks back. It's not, again, it's not a new product or anything. It's not actually a homebrew product. It is one that's very well known to most people. It's the Reuzel Muppet Mash. Okay, so this is Reuzel Pink, which is their heavy oil-based pomade, and this is the Reuzel medium oil-based, the Reuzel Green, which is the medium. So you mix these two together and you get the Muppet Mash. So basically you're making a firm because you're mixing obviously the heavy with the medium. So the reason I wanted to do a video about the Reuzel Muppet Mash is because it really sort of sorted me out a lot during lockdown when I had that. My hair was literally like down to here, and I'd just been trimming it around the sides to keep it off my ears and off my neck, but just didn't touch the top. So it was really, really long, and it was, you know, a lot of products were struggling to keep it in place. But the Muppet Mash sorted me out every time. So it was just such a reliable combo that I thought I'd like to just do a video on it, just because the performance of it was just so good in it. So it sorted me out a lot during lockdown. So just quickly, so most people will know about Reuzel. They're a big company, but in case anyone's watching this video who is new, who's just getting into pomades and is looking at it because they don't know what it is and they want to know what it's like, just a quick overview. Reuzel is owned by Schwarm, which is a barbershop and barbershop academy in Rotterdam. Schwarm in English translates as scumbag, so it's like the scumbag barbers. So the vast majority of you will know all about them because they say they're very big in the game. Classic cuts, alternative cuts. So Reuzel is their line of pomades. Reuzel, I believe, translates as lard, which is why it's got the pig on it. And so they do. So the pink here is the heavy, and the green here is the medium. They also have a blue one, a red one, which are both their sort of water-based, almost gel-type ones, I believe. I've never tried them, and they've also got an extreme hold, which is like a matte one. Loads of other stuff they do, and then they do beard stuff, they do shaving stuff, they do shampoos. So they've got a whole massive line of stuff. But yeah, just a quick overview of Reuzel. So the packaging, I like these sort of thin, wide, old school tins. Yeah, they look just like proper old school pomade, which is cool. So yeah, but the packaging is the same apart from the colour. They're colour coded, so you know which one's which. And then so they've got this nice sort of old school, almost like butcher shop picture of the pig on there. So yeah, packaging's cool, and they're sort of like faux distressed black on them. The scent on the pink is like a sort of, I would describe it as like almost like a bubblegum kind of a scent. It's not my favourite. It's just a bit too sweet for me, but it's not too overpowering. It smells quite strong in the jar, but once you got it in your hair, it's not too overpowering. And then when it's comboed with the green, which is like, it's kind of like an apple scent, that sort of cuts. It's not, this one's not as sweet, and it sort of cuts through the sweetness of the pink. So they're not too, you don't really smell them too much during the day. They're not too strong, so it's not too much of a big deal. But yeah, not my ideal sense, to be honest. The scoop on both of them is pretty easy. Obviously the heavy is a heavier scoop than the medium. But yeah, when I'm mixing these two together, I usually just grab a scoop of each. So you see that was easy, came out nice and easy. And then scoop of this one, which comes out even easier. So roughly 50-50. Put them both in the hand and just mix them together. So they break down really easy, they're nice. So they're sort of like a nice even mixture of stickiness and slickness. So not overly oily and greasy, but then not too sticky that it's ripping your hairs out when it's going in. It's nice and balanced. Application is pretty easy. Not a huge amount of variation in application when it comes to oil base. They pretty much, well, obviously you get the waxier ones and you get the oilier ones, but there's not a huge amount of variation. It's not like matte paste or clays where some of them are really dry and tuggy and some of them go in like nothing. Not a huge amount of variation when it comes to oil-based pomades. So yeah, so that was obviously effectively 2 scoops because I took one of each, but they were slightly smaller than the scoops I would usually take if I wasn't mixing 2 products together. So I take another, about the same size of each. And that will probably be enough. Yeah, I'll say that's probably enough. Get that all in there. And see, as always, make sure it's evenly covered everywhere. To make sure I've got a good amount in my sides as well, because the side's quite long. So the shine is, because my hair's still damp, you're getting a bit of the shine from the dampness of my hair. But once the hair's dried and the product's settled in, it's probably just like a notch above a natural shine, which again I like. Don't like overly shiny products. Don't want to look too greasy. So there we go, product in. I'll just comb it back. Yep, comb glides through, nice and easy. Everything gets back and into place. Now, don't want to jinx myself, but this product is just usually just so quick to style with, and I've said that I'll probably struggle with it, but that's one of the reasons I just loved it so much, using it over lockdown when my hair was just so long and the cut was just so, there had no shape to it and the cut was just so mental. But this, so with some products I was taking ages trying to get the pump formed and everything, but with this, it was a breeze. Hair stuck to my hand. Get it off. Okay. So, been using the metal tooth Afro pick, which I've actually been favouring over my Chicago Afro pick recently. I just find the slightly wider teeth give you nice comb lines, and then also when you're finished combing and you're teasing the pump forward, the wider teeth leave less of a mark sometimes because the teeth on the Chicago one are very close together, sometimes it like leaves a bit of a dent in the curve of the pump, if you know what I mean. So you've just got it all shaped up nicely, and then you go to seat it forward, and then you've got this big line across the top, and you end up having to recomb it. But that doesn't seem to happen as much with this one. So yeah, they're great little combs, these ones, and say they fold up, so good for sticking in your pocket. And so I think I got this one for about like £2 a little while back, but I think I couldn't see them for that much when I looked recently. But still, I think they're only about £4. Still like the Chicago one, but I've been using this one a lot more recently. So you can see, yeah, it's nice, really easy to work with. Yeah, that is pretty much done, isn't it? See, that's so quick. Again, if you wanted, you could mess around with that a bit more, but I mean, if you're wanting something that you can just chuck in your hair quickly and get a decent style with, that is really good. And then, so in terms of the holding controls, say you're mixing the heavy and the medium together, so you get in a firm, but it's like it's probably a notch above a firm hold. It's not going to move, even in a big gust of wind, or even if it's raining. I mean, I'm not talking tornado, hurricane conditions here, but even if it's a stormy day here, it's not really going to move. So the hold is really good, and so the control is so good. That's why it's so quick to style with, because your hair just does what you want it to do. That's it. There we go. So I'm not going to bother doing it later with this, because like I say, I can guarantee you, if I did a later one, 10 hours later, 8 hours later, whatever, it'd look the same. It wouldn't move. It's great. So there you go. So yeah, something slightly different. Not a homebrew one. I know some people might turn their nose up if it's not a homebrew product, but I love homebrew products. This is the only non-homebrew product I've got, actually, I think. But it doesn't have to be homebrew. This is a fantastic combination. And so it did me so well over lockdown. I just wanted to show it a bit of appreciation. So if you haven't tried these, pick them up. They're really easy to get hold of as well. In the UK, you can get them for about £12 or £13 for the 4 ounces. So if you haven't tried them, pick them up if you're into oil base, because they're fantastic. There we go. See you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.